Hello everyone and welcome to this panel discussion. With me here today is Celik Nimani, Managing Director of Carta Southeast Europe. Marina Zubic, Chief Marketing Officer, Async Labs. And Frosina Denkova Zafirovska, Chief of People and Talent Officer. Welcome again. We will be discussing, some of the topics will be about the workplace culture, empathy, work-life integration, vocational skills, and engaging models. First, let's continue. So we know most of the time that after COVID, remote work into our offices has changed. So I would like to discuss with you what is the state of remote work in your country. I would like to start with Celik. And can you tell us, please, something more about this?
Sure, okay. So, hello everyone. Nice and happy to see so many people here on a sunny Saturday. So I hope you enjoy this time inside. So the state of remote work in Kosovo is something that is present among all tech companies, I would say. It's not as big of an issue as it is in the Western world, meaning that a lot of tech companies around the world have issues to get people back to the office. In smaller places like Kosovo or other Balkan countries, it's more convenient for people to do both. So sometimes they start in the morning to work remote, and then after lunch they come to the office because they just don't enjoy being alone at home. So this is a logistical convenience that we have in our area, but which is different from what I see from country to country and from company to company. So there's no boiler template that you can say is applicable for the entire region. It's entirely dependent on each company culture and the way how companies see it. And I would keep it short on this topic because we will talk more about it, I'm pretty sure. But what is important to mention is that companies have still issues trying to bring people back to the office because the company culture that is created from people in the office is slowly dying, and there's more and more people working at a distance. The productivity of people is at a good level, but those small talks, those conversations at the water cooler, at the terrace, they're not just present anymore.
True. Okay. Marina, can you please tell us about Croatia? What is the difference there?
Okay. Hi everyone. One more time I want to thank you, Kutia, for inviting us today. I'm very happy to be here. So in Croatia, I think we are all in IT industry, and we are all having the same challenge, and this is that after the COVID, everything changed and flipped in our company and in Croatia in general. In IT sector happened that people are this is becoming new normal. So remote work is a normal thing, and in Croatia, in my company in Async Labs, we are having one model. So people are working from the office, and they have possibility to work remote. So this is some combination. But there also exist companies which have only remote work. So we are all adapting to that, and we will see where this is go. But from the talks, I can see that this is the story on here. This is a Balkan story, but I think this is happening to everyone in IT.
Okay. What about North Macedonia?
Hi everyone, it's nice to be here today. So more or less it's the same at our country as well. So we have we have worked remotely before the pandemic as well, but not in that manner as today, let's say. So during the pandemic, we were forced to work from home, and at the beginning we even faced increased productivity from all of the colleagues. But after a while, as HR department, we started to feel like, oh, what we are going to do? What if we lose our colleagues? What if they didn't come back to the office? And what is going to happen in the future? Now, at this point, we have figured out that probably we will never bring them at the office the way they worked before. And we have started to build some alternative ways and models of work in which we try to figure out what would be the next engagement model for our colleagues that are working from home or from the office, but also how to manage to stay together, to stay bonded, and to know each other as they did before. So probably that was our biggest challenge, to see how we can engage our colleagues as before. So that was our topic, let's say, during or last year and this year as well.
We can all, of course, agree on that, but we will continue discussing more about the affecting remote working, affecting the workplace culture. So, as we all agreed that it does, but how, and is it really affecting, so is remote work affecting workplace culture?
So, who's going to start on this?
Whoever that wants, maybe, yeah. Okay.
So I touched base on this a little bit. So team building, these cohesive discussion, these flexibility of discussions is not as easy to do when you have those remote conversations, because when people are remote, they are quite agenda oriented. So they create a plan for the day. And then they, when you ask them, can we jump on a quick call, you will get a response, we need to do this at 10:30 or after lunch break. So it's more structured. Versus when you do that in the office, you can just go to the desk and ask that person to, like, quickly, can you help me with this topic or conversation? So this is something that is being heard a lot from remote versus in-office culture. Beyond that, so the productivity part is something that remote people do not have the detachment from the focus. So there's not someone tapping on your shoulder like, let's go have a smoke break. So you don't have that when you're remote. But the thing is that we as a company, we also invest in this part of the company culture so that people share knowledge when they're working close to one another. And when there's like sitting, let's say, Node.js developers or .NET developers sitting close to each other and discussing a project is differently when they do that in the office versus when there's like a remote thing going on. And we had cases when they try to go on a call and stay on a call for an hour and try to like keep one another in a good mood to do this sort of process, but it's not the same as it is when you're sitting in one place. So in my opinion, like the hybrid model is going to be like the long way to go, and it's the model that most of the companies are adapting and most of the people are liking to go. But it will have to be dependent on each company culture and each country where the company is based on.
Marina, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, thanks. I think that it is great that you mentioned a culture, because it depends a lot on which culture does one agency want to build. And for us, we are trying to build, and we are building, I hope, fully, this culture that people want to work with each other, and they share knowledge, they are mentorship each other, and they are working together on some projects, and they are sharing their success and failures together. And this is it is the best for them to be together in that. And of course there is a remote work option, and it will be, because it is normal for us now. But we are trying to have this culture that we are supporting each other, and it is much easier when people are together. And you mentioned that the people, some of them, they said they are more productive when they are at home. Some of them are more productive when they are in office. So it depends on the people. But this hybrid model, this will, I think, will be future, and for us and for other agency. But it all depends what they want, which culture they want to develop.
I think it's also depending on the person's personality. Some people are more outgoing and they love the office work. So we have a lot of people who just come because of the fun, let's say, in a way. And when they are remote, they're totally detached from that. I feel it sometimes when I'm remote, like I miss that kind of a lunch break that I would be having with my colleagues. So that's why I totally agree with that, depending on the people's personality. So that's why they choose that. Frosina, your turn, sorry.
Yeah. I would like to add only that culture-wise, we became more flexible as a company. That required a lot of trust. And that was probably what we have worked on during the past period of time. But also I felt that the flexibility is what the employees are valuing when the company is offering to them, and when they have the possibility to work with their own individual pace, the results are very good. So flexibility and trust are the highlights when it comes to the remote work, in my opinion.
I think it's also because of our industry, tech industries, because we know that we are a very competitive industry, and we have to offer that, I think.
Of course.
Otherwise, if we don't,
Yeah.
they're just going to go somewhere where they offer it. So we have to be flexible with the flexibility, I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, since we all agreed with remote working affecting our workplace, do you think we have any strategies in place that can help us keep human interaction with the remote workers, or whoever wants to start?
Wait, we can start from you.
Yeah, maybe from the end.
Yeah. Of course. So when it comes to the talent attraction or talent acquisition, let's say that at the same time we have felt a lot of challenges, because the great recession is also at our places as well. So the people are coming and going, but what can make a difference is a culture that is focused on the employee, a people-centric culture that values and that probably can provide some kind of a wellness program to the employee, some kind of offering a little things that can make a difference. In our experience, I can say that this is what, let's say, make the turnover more secure and not so high, let's say. At the same time, talking about the talent acquisition, we have faced a lot of opportunities recruiting globally, expanding our recruiting time, let's say. So having recruiters from some other countries, from somewhere from the world, let's say from Brazil. Recently, we have expanded our team there. So we are not talking to our talent during our time zone, but after that, so we can working in that field even longer, and we can let's say search for the talent whenever there is in the globe. So not only limiting to some geographic space, but world is our space, let's say, nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that we are all in the same challenge, let's say. So we are all trying to fight for those people who are sitting here in the audience and outside and listening us, I hope. So we are all fighting for those talents. And we are all watching, okay, what we can offer them beside salary. And in our agency, we are dealing with that in direction that we have a mantra which says for our clients it's going direction we put all our efforts into a product so we can grow together. And with clients we are really doing this in direction that we are putting extra effort to get the quality and the best result for them. And for the people in our company, which are the company, we are shifting that mantra into them. So we are trying to create for them a place where they want to work. And we are trying to give them opportunity to work with the technologies they choose and to work on the projects they want to work whenever it is possible. So, for example, we have developers and they are coming to work with us as a front developer, but in their career there, they decided to switch to full stack developers, and we are, of course, supporting that because we want give them opportunity to skill up their skills with us. And this is how we are fighting on the market. And this is the process which is all the time here. So this is our culture. And we are trying to share that through our campaigns and our social medias and everywhere when we are present. And when we open some new job, people recognize that. So they see this and they are familiar with that. And then they apply.
So the question was like, what's the strategies?
Yeah. Do we have any strategies in place?
Companies think they have strategies, but the market is moving so fast that everyone says, fuck your strategy. So the thing is that whatever you think will work tomorrow will be already obsolete today. So the market is so dynamic. For example, we mentioned hybrid. You cannot force it. If you force it, another competitor will be knocking at your door to get all your employees who are unhappy with any type of strategy that you try to implement. So that's why today you have a C-level person here sitting with HR people. The thing is that C-level and HR are now very tightly working with one another to try and figure out how to keep people motivated, how to find the right way to bring them to the office or keep them motivated when they're not in the office. So this requires flexibility above strategy. So we need to be very flexible and try to understand, adapt, because who knew we had a pandemic 2 years ago. So now we have a war knocking at the door. We have a crazy guy who's about to launch nukes. So whatever strategy you have in mind might change tomorrow really fast. So as tech people, we need to be agile because we're all agile development companies. So we need to apply the same philosophy in the strategies and in the documents that we work on a daily basis.
I would like to add. Yes, sure. I fully agree with what you have said, but also from the HR perspective, I would not call it a strategy, but something that we have focused on in the recent period was to keep the employees informed as the first point. That was working remotely. We wanted to show them and inform them about everything that is happening during all the overall offices that we have in all countries. So we have created newsletter that was informing them about every initiative, every project, deliveries, successes, and everything. And the main point of this was to keep them informed, but also to show them there are other opportunities within the company. Not if they are not satisfied, if they are not happy, to see something else, but within the company. Then, as point 2, we want them to keep them involved by offering a lot of different, let's say, engagement opportunities, from wellness opportunities such as mediation sessions, coaching, individual coaching sessions, to sport activities, virtual meetups, and so on. And the third point I would say was keep them inspired, which was offering them opportunity to show and develop a skill that skills that they would like to work with. We have created Innovative Hub in which everyone can join that kind of meetups, events, and so on, and they can work with new technologies or whatever they have to choose with in a group or individually in order to, let's say, develop some new skills or work with something that they are not allowed to work at the moment, let's say. So I would not say that this is our strategy, but something that we have think about it and work on systematically to provide and to offer to our employees. But also I would like to highlight again that as you said, showing and offering flexibility to the employees, for me, it's maybe the biggest takeaway from the remote work. Thanks.
Thank you for your insight and strategies, ideas. Okay, so we discussed about strategies and remote work. We also mentioned turnover and retention. So we can see that at the moment in software development industry, the most challenging that we're facing is turnover. So we have come to a place that we cannot just make people come to us, but maybe we can just also create and develop our own talents. So I would like to be, I would like to ask you, how are we preparing the talents for a work of world? So the world of work. So for example, to mention, we in Kutia, we have Beetroot Academy, which we have students who we teach them for front-end development, back-end, also project management. And in that time, when they're finished their like 3 months of practice, like let's say the test and everything, they can get to us with their internship programs, and also they can get to different companies with job or practicum or internship programs. So what are we doing? Are we preparing them for the world of work? Whoever wants to start.
Okay.
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah,
please.
So I'm sure that every single company here is trying to do their best, and whatever that company is doing, we're doing the same, Kutia is doing the same, so we're just like, you post something on social media, you send someone to the gym, we will do that the next day. So this is the level of competitiveness that is happening in the tech sector. So it's a fierce fight for talent, because we know that the talent is not there. And all of us invest through different ways to train new generations of people. We have a special internship program, which is on high demand. A lot of people apply, very short people are selected because that's the maximum amount of effort we can put into it. Then there's the support infrastructure like Beetroot Academy or different institutions that offer trainings, and then we try to select the best from those and then hire and invest in them and grow them further. One of the most important things that companies need to have in mind is to spark this vision that was mentioned, this sort of innovation and these cool projects around the company that people are like, oh, when will I get the chance to work on that project? So this keeps them motivated a lot. And another thing that helps people also think of their growth inside the company is having a clear career path, a clear growth plan, which is something that a lot of companies are struggling with. So like you hire a person on a job, then it is not clear how he or she can get promoted to a team lead or a department head or head of practice or regional head of something. So the more companies invest in creating these structured policies or like just a one-pager, it doesn't have to be complicated. It has to be like a one-pager. You're like, here, if you want to be a team lead, you need to stick around with the company for 1 year. If you do rockstar deployment of a project for a client, you're going to make it within half a year, right? So this is a clear path that someone who wants to do a career growth can see. So this is the motivator that will be a differentiator from one company to another. And this is something that I see in a lot of companies in the region that on paper it looks nice, but at many companies is not implemented in the right way.
I don't know if I have anything to add on that, so I will skip that.
As a company, we have a biannual feedback sessions that we really care about, not to be a formal session on which only the performance will be discussed and so on, but besides that, to really discuss individually, the manager of the project, the technical guy that is leading the project, to discuss individually with the colleague what is his or her goal, what they want to achieve, where do they want to be, not only in the next 6 months, but maybe afterwards, and how the company can support that. Regardless if that is a technical goal, or maybe some personality-wise goal, or maybe even some private goal that will help the employee to become a better person. So this is something that is related to our happiness strategy, but it's very important to be developed very well, and that is why we work with our leadership in order this to be spontaneous and natural and good process, not formal process and not process per se. Besides that, depending on the seniority level, we have created a different kind of skill development programs. Besides the usual, let's say, internship program, we have developed a booster program. That means that with an intense program and process with mentors, we would like to boost the skills development of juniors in order to become more successful in a shorter amount of time. So this means that not everyone will pass the program and will achieve that level, but everyone may try it. And from the experience of the results, we are quite satisfied with what we achieved so far. We have passed 2 rounds so far with this program, and we are satisfied. As we are going with more higher, let's say, roles, we are focusing more on, let's say, certifications with the senior guys, let's say. And Innovation Hub is something that we are offering continuously to all the employees to work on some innovative and specific projects that they would like to join. So that is more or less what we are doing. When it comes to the leadership, we have a specific empowerment program that is intended not only for the former leadership roles, but to everyone that has also leadership potential or that thinks that would like to be part of this empowerment project. So it's more or less open to everyone who would like to lead or who has that leadership potential, because everyone can be a leader in something, right? So this is more or less what we are doing.
Thank you. Okay, we will move on mostly on the marketing part, where we have Marina here. Marina, we all know that the marketing plays a great role into finding and targeting people. So what is the importance of marketing targeting talents?
I think a little bit answer on that question earlier, but we all agree that marketing and HR department, we are really close collaborating, and we are fighting for the same people on the market. So of course, we all have benefits, and you said, I have gym, you have gym, and we are having all those things. But in general, what we are trying to do, we are trying to show to our people what is the purpose of what they are doing, and we share this success of some project. They see it, they see how it's implemented, how many users it has, and this is very important because people then see they are valued in our company, and they see, okay, I'm not just something small, I'm important part here. And this is the process which I already mentioned. So we are building that brand awareness through all our campaigns. We are showing that, and we are giving that purpose, and we show how we do it, and people which are working on that. And when we are open some new position, people want to be part of that. They want to access it, and they want to give their part to that.
But let's say to that. So yes, we are promoting our talents and we are promoting our company, but is promoting talents a risk for retention? Because the moment we promote a person who's like 5 years in our company, another company will see that and would want that. So how are we risking our employee branding and promoting our talents?
Yeah, of course it is a risk, but in the end, it all comes to that our company are our people. So our brand, Async Labs, are people who are working in that company. And we want to show who is in it and who is building that. And this is one part when they have the opportunity that whole world will see that, okay, this person is working on that, and it is working on that project. So, and then people from the HR and from other agency, okay, they see this person is great, I want to recruit it in my team. But this is where agency has to take care about that, in the direction that we need to have that culture, and this is what we have to do. This is the most challenging part. We need to show those people that they are valued here and that we want to keep them. I think it's everything about that.
So if I may add on this topic, so almost all the companies now do employee branding as a primary marketing channel, so they don't even invest in marketing their services, or whatever they do is like promoting the people. The thing is that if you try to close this process and not promote those people to the public, there are tools like LinkedIn Insights, Greenhouse. We have the data, we know the people that work for all the companies, and despite all your efforts to keep that close to you, there are ways to track and gather that information. So the goal is to invest to make those people feel valued, and they feel this value on a daily basis as part of the company. The rest is like just let it flow. Like, no matter what you do in that direction, if that person wants to leave, he will leave. If he doesn't feel valued and he doesn't see him as part of the company anymore at some point, because someone can also see valuation and happiness and everything, but he's just like, he wants to try something new, and that's normal. It's okay. There's a lot of opportunities in the tech sector.
True. Okay, so we'll continue with the building or exchanging models. So I would like to know how are the regional companies managing the skill development and the talent acquisition process?
You want to start?
Yes,
Sure.
I have talked a little bit about this. So the talent
as in a short note.
Yes, in a nutshell, the talent acquisition process is something that now, from this perspective, has more opportunities than ever, than before, for sure. But also, we are facing a lot of challenges. So having employees from a different from a different countries, different cultures, different mindsets. Yes, of course. And in the same company, on the same project, of course there are challenges, but the beauty is when there is a diversity, when we can all, beside work, do something more about it. So I think that the challenges they are, and they are going to be in the future as well, but we should work with it and we should try to overcome them. We are expanding in the market. And that is what is happening at the moment, and I think
we're all different into other industries because tech, it's like overflowing, and we cannot join or agree with others because we cannot just be expected to grow our talents with applications. We have to find them. Thanks God there's LinkedIn, because without that we couldn't be like managing or anything, because if we want someone specific, we have to look for it. Otherwise we cannot accept the application, because senior developers won't just apply. So this is how the process of talent acquisition is flowing and growing and everything.
Yes, of course.
If anyone else has something to add on this, we're coming near to the end. With our...
Well, so now it's the time when only people who have 0 to 1 years of experience apply for jobs. The rest who are like 1+, they come even to you and come to the office, hey, look, I got this message from this company. They are offering me double the salary what you pay. What you gonna do about it? And then you're like, holy shit, he has 1 year of experience, now what the hell I'm gonna do? He's doing a great job, so then you have to improvise. So that's why I'm saying, like, every strategy or policy that you have in mind, it just doesn't work. Because every single one person that is a tech person here has people like you and some of you over here mocking them on LinkedIn every day with messages.
We offer them better opportunities, okay?
Yeah.
We don't mock.
Sorry for the word mock. You offer them better opportunities. So just some jokes a little bit, but this is the process how it goes. So like they are, and at some point mid to senior level, they just don't respond. So because they are tired, and some companies do this process really terrible. They like go full on, like we're gonna offer you this and that, and people are just like, they're aggressive. So people do not want that aggressiveness. So that's why for the senior, the good people, you have to build up, you have to do smooth approach, discussion, open to them what you offer as a company. Most of the senior people, they know who you are and what you do and what type of projects that you work with. So it requires more time to get a person like that on your team versus how it used to be in the past. But this is due to the high level of competitiveness that we have. So remember, we're in Kosovo, but the market is open to international companies. So it's the same with Macedonia and all other countries. So you have people who are based in Pristina that work for Google, Apple, Microsoft. So your competitor, Kutia, is all of those companies that I'm mentioning. So it's not us here, so it's the global market. And the opportunities are present for everyone in the global market as well. So now it's like we have to compete at a global level with everyone.
True, that's why I said tech industry, it's different from everyone else. So moving on to the last question of this great panel. So how do you see the office of the future? We discussed a lot about our future goals, our strategies, and how are we promoting our talents, but how do you see the office of the future? So how would you like to be? I know that you said hybrid might be the answer, but any other thoughts on that?
That's an assumption. Everybody says that. Like,
that's why I said might.
So at Carta, we have about 2,200 people across the entire globe, located in US, Latin America, UK, Europe, and SEE territory. And it's different from office to office. So like in the Pristina office, we have about 70-80% of the people showing up. It's not enforced. People just love coming into the office. In Skopje, it's like 10-15 people out of a 100 people team. In Bulgaria, it's like 10-15 out of a close to 200 people team. So it's different from country to country. And then we have colleagues in the UK asking like, what the hell are you doing in Pristina? How are the people coming to the office because they have a team of 400 people 10 people show in the office. In Chicago, there's 900 people. There's about 15 people going to the office. So this is the problem, the situation now. This is the challenges the companies are facing. And from the US, they come to Pristina and ask you, like, how do you solve this problem? But what you tell them is not applicable to some guy in the US because they do commute for 2 hours. Our commute is like 15 minutes. So you start in the morning, I don't like working from home today, I'm just gonna go to the office. 10 minutes, you show up in the office. You cannot do that in the US. So the office of the future will be dependent on the location that you are, will be dependent on the industry that you work with, will be dependent on the culture that you create as a company, and will be driven by the power of the employees. So CEOs of today's, we are the employees of the employees, so we serve, it's not the other way around. So we do everything we can to make a better office for the people that are in the office. So it's gonna be us listening to different needs, and it's not gonna be those table tennis or picado or whatever. Those are like perks. People get tired after some point of them. It's gonna be different activities. It's gonna be, on top of everything, it's gonna be a vision and a career path and a career growth plan where they see that they're part of the company and they can grow in a clear state with the company. And that's going to be the office of the future that will keep people motivated to stay at that company on the long run.
Okay. Thank you.
Luckily, we have only offices in Croatia, so we don't have to worry about all those. I agree mostly with you. So it will depend from the company to company, and it depends from the strategy and the culture which each company want to push. So I believe we will all have to adapt to it and see how it will goes. But in my opinion, I think we will push further in some hybrid model. So it will be remote work and it will be work from the office. And of course, it will be very important, the strategy which you have, the culture which you are pushing and everything. But we don't know if there will be next COVID or next war. So we will see in which direction we should go.
Yeah, more or less I agree with them. So work from anywhere, with a lot of flexibility and focus on results. So this is what I believe it's going to be in the future.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would like, nothing else?
Just a small comment. So, remember, Ukraine is the country that has like one of the top tech companies. And there's tech companies that are delivering results for clients while they're fighting an aggressor. So what kind of an office is that? Like you close your laptop, you take the machine gun and you go and fight for your land? What's the office that? So the office of the future is gonna be, who knows? But we have to keep looking forward and we gotta be looking big in many, many ways.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank everyone being here, our panelists, and also everyone who could join us. Hopefully we'll see each other next year. Thank you.